What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning on the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Ra. His name is HELLSRAVAGE. In the right side of the map, playing as Zeus from the DoD clan. His name is Joe. The map is Savannah. This is a very friendly game. Shoutcast Sunday is on its way, and it's going to feel very nice to watch these two very strong players duking it out to do as much as they possibly can to each other and whack each other around as much as possible. They both picked random, and Hell's managed to roll the god he wanted to play in Ra. And we've seen Joe's Zeus is on a very high level, so that's going to be fantastic. Laborers are on their way here. We've got the hunting dogs. Has been researched. Just had to check that one there for both players here. Joe, 5 villagers food. Going to send 3 villagers to wood most probably. Then 2 villagers to the gold. And continue along that way, I think. And we're seeing villagers run over onto the mining camp as well. And that's going to be nice. We've got the goats doing their thing as well. Just scouting around. Doing just like chilling, you know, just getting all that information out there that they can. Mining camps up nice and early here for Hells. I'm never 100% sure why everyone goes mining camp first as Ra when you need to get so much wood in order to get pickaxe, husbandry, and Shadoof. That's if you're going to be going for a Tar to town center or even just go through Tar in general, because if you're going to get hunting dogs, you're going to want everything else. But obviously early monument to the villages is definitely an option here as well. And he might not even be wanting to grab wood. No, wood is coming up, so it doesn't make all that much sense. We do see Scarab Pendant has been picked up here for Hells. 100% Scarab plus Scarab and Behemoth damage versus buildings. And also the 20% Ram and Heliopoli and Siege Tower damage versus buildings. Scarab Pendant is actually gigantic for Scarab rushes. So I would actually love Hells to go for some sort of Scarab rush here, but it's a little bit gimmicky, and if Joe goes through Hermes, which he probably will, then that's going to be a little bit too much for Hells to get a win there with the ceasefire. You know, too much. Got some found some giraffe here, which is going to be a nice middle location for both players to secure. Probably not going to be seeing that one here for Hells. He's not really in need of it. He can probably, I don't know. You probably can get to the heroic age just off these rhino and those goat alone here. 7 goat is probably enough. He does have access to this elephant over here as well, which if he does decide to continue hunting, which he may do, will be totally fine. We've seen temple come up now for Hells. Got these houses surrounding this house as well. This is a really nice protective gold mine here. There we go. Temple coming up now for Joe. How is he looking? He does have enough food to advance, but he's not going to be getting out of Jason early at all. But throwing down houses as well. Athena coming through. Looking like Joe wants to get a little bit aggressive here. Going through Athena. I'm hoping we're going to see that normal play of the 2 military buildings into a fast 2-town center, or not at that fast, but you know, a fairly fast 2-town center advance. He's got a lot of villages on gold here. If we check out the gold income, it looks like he is. Well, he's reorganized them. Sorry, actually not so much, but it does look like he is going for 2-town center Athena here, which is fairly standard here against Ra. Grabbing 2 town centers against the 2-town center Ptah means you keep up. You get to the mythic age around about the same time as the Ra player, and then just being Zeus, you can do quite a lot of damage. Do you see a relic here? Dwarven Calipers. So this is the siege weapon map. Going to be gigantic. Absolutely gigantic in order to help out if you get both of those relics there. We do see Athena has come through and the villagers come off the gold mine. If we're trying to think about what we're doing here as a Zeus player, we're going to get those villagers off the gold because you don't need it. You're going to be building a town center. You're going to be building villages from that town center. You're not going to be attacked. You're versing Ra. for at least a little bit here, so you do not need the gold income. So you can take those villages off gold and be totally fine. We're seeing Dwarven Calipers does get picked up by Jason, and he's going to be moving around, but surely he knows he's not going to be in any real bad situation. We're seeing Gate does get opened up there, and it does look like Hells is going to be going for this town center, which is a little bit of a risky maneuver considering we've got Jason and a Minotaur here versus a Pharaoh and a Wadjet. And I tell you what, Pharaoh and Wadjet definitely win this fight, and we do see Hells going to be retreating there. Carillion, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you watching the videos. And he's going to be moving back here. Looks like not going to be going for that second town center after all. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Not sure. Not sure what the option is here. Thank you so much, Hero P, for the follow as well. Appreciate that, my friend. Wadjet getting out of here, and he's going to be retreating as well. We've got the villagers onto the Elephant second town center is up, and we do see these villagers that came off the gold mine are moving over onto food. If we check out all of the food villages that Joe has, he's got 5 and he's got 12. That's 18. So it's quite a few amounts of villages here. That's going to be very, very good for him in order to keep that villager production happening. Whereas Hell's sitting one town center, he gets thrown off here. Decides to go one town center. Tar, fast heroic, it looks like. No armory coming up just yet for Hells. Definitely needs to get that one up there soon. There's the armory is going to be coming up. Maybe worthwhile getting the priest to come over and empower that one. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to advance until the 8-minute mark, which I guess is fine. But Hells is looking like he's going to be in a bit of a struggle streak. Unless he goes for the Scarab Rush, which could be an option here, because Athena was researched here. Hells says, holy shit, he forgot to build the armory. He's so slow right now. You definitely, when you hit the classical age of Ra, there's so many things you need to do. You need to get Plow, you need to get Shadoof, you need to get a second town center, you need to get your armory up. And if you don't do all of those things instantly, you really slow down yourself. And Joe giving the sad face in the reaction to I'm so slow. But that's just because Hells doesn't play the game very much anymore, which is super sad. But, you know, whatever. He's still here. He's plugging away. He's trying to do the best he can. We've got the elephant does get picked off here. And so many villagers on that one right now. And we don't have any military buildings just yet for Joe as he's running around with these units. He even relieved the pressure over here on this town center. No second town center coming out. Segment coming through, looking like looking like an absolute beast with that segment. That's going to allow him to get access to even more population. And it's not that all in. You don't even have to go for Scarab. You get one Scarab, that's fine. But you don't have to go for like any all-ins or anything, but he may actually decide to go for that one. But he does need to get access to some of those, line of sight. He needs to have something that he can send to Shifting Sands if he is going for some sort of Scarab play here. But the units chilling up here at this point, just going to be trying to keep an eye on all the gold mines. Does see this one, which is actually beautiful for that 2-town center Patar, but the Jason was there early enough with the Minotaur in order to stop that one. So having to change up the strategy mid-game. Does have the Scarab Pendant, which does mean that the Scarab is going to be doing double damage. And when we hit that that next stage, we are going to be seeing a Migdol Stronghold coming up. Scarab does, 12 crush damage at plus 6 hack damage. So that's quite a bit of damage there, and then you double that damage. I'm not sure if the 100% damage versus buildings means that he does 24 crush damage and then also 12 hack damage, or if or what. But if we are seeing another Scarab does come out here, if we check out this, we do have a lot of resources in the bank. We've got Chariot Archers coming through. Siege Workshop is coming down. We're seeing some walls coming up all over the map. Joe loves doing this in order to stop any of that shenanigans coming down. Chariot Archer is going to be running around here, looking like he's trying to get into this location here and Shifting Sands. These units here, even just with the 2 Scarabs, he will be able to take this town center down, and we do have all of these units in the front here. Hippocon do have the medium upgrade as well, so that's going to be huge. Elephant also grabbing some of Hell's elephant is going to be a nice one as well. Are we going to see any of the siege weapons? No siege weapons coming in just yet. Chariot Archer has gotten around the back and he's going to be hiding in the back, or maybe not. Maybe just going to go straight for the town center, go straight for the Shifting Sands. Is he going to bring villagers as well? That's the next question. Maybe, maybe not. Here we go. Shifting Sands. Looks like it may be... Nope, not on its way. No real reaction just yet. Hippocon are coming away. Where are the heroes? The heroes are already back over here, and the Chariot Archer are going to sit in the back of this location here, and it's going to allow Hells to basically just the threat of these two Scarabs, which he hasn't seen, mind you, is enough to force the heroes to be back here, which does mean that the army of Hells is going to be enough to push the Hippocon back here at this point, which is great. We do have 3 stables up now for Joe. Getting up the farms as well, still pumping out those things. We do see that the Wadget, getting a little bit antsy here, has been spotted by the heroes, and he's going to be losing his life, unfortunately. And we are seeing walls do start taking a little bit of damage here. Going to take a long time to get picked off here, even though they do have a little bit of nerfed hit points. Just because you only have the Chariot Archers here, we do see Minotaur and Hippocon moving forward at this point, picking off that cavalry there, which feels real good. And we do have this cavalry just running around trying to see what's going on. We do have these heroes over here. We are seeing little bits of raids happening as well. So the Scarabs, we have 3 Scarabs here. This is enough to take down a town center and some buildings, but it's a lot of resources. Think about it. Town center is worth 700. That's no favor. Scarabs are worth 900. Actually, wait, is it 900? Yes, 900, but you get 1 for free. So it's 600. So it's definitely worth it to sacrifice the Scarabs to force out the town center. But then you also have the extra favor that you have to spend on them as well. They have 18 favor. So you want to kill the town center plus a little bit more. Get some of the houses down and all that other stuff. Force these units to be somewhere else when the chariot goes in for the shift onto the town center. Force a fight or something. But Hell is grabbing his 2nd town center right now. Maybe also there's the 3rd town center as well. So he's going to be able to start booming a little bit now. He's managed to secure the gold mines. Also secures this gold mine as well. And it looks like Joe just being a little bit passive here, which may be a little bit of an issue as well. Moving in, going to be trying to pick off these heroes, which is huge. Pick off the heroes and then go for the shift. Yes, this is the idea. Moving in with the Chariot Archer. Shifting Sands is going to come through really shortly. Oh, Hells is not paying attention. Can still make it happen. Does not go for the shift. Unfortunately for Hells, they're not fast enough on that one. Going to be moving the cavalry forward now and go for a 2nd attempt onto that town center with all the Scarabs, forcing this fight over here. These heroes are really low HP. Finally, cavalry going to be moving forward. Shifting Sands is on its way. Here we go. The cavalry in the base. Is it going to happen? Yep, Shifting Sands does come forward. And is he going to be able? He's not going to be able to get this town center down. Bolt does come down onto this location here. We do see Heracles is going to be coming out, but these Scarabs do so much damage with that extra relic. 100% bonus against that town center there. Even with all these villagers on here, it's not going to be enough. This town center is definitely going to fall. Heracles not going to be able to get out, and then he can start moving on to these houses as well. You can see he's trying to split them up, maybe even save these Scarabs as well. Moving in as well onto these Hippocon. Hell's doing so much damage onto Joe as well. He's got the 3rd town centers up. Everything is spamming villagers everywhere, and that's going to be huge. Looks like the Odysseus has welcomed these Scarabs with open arms. He should probably think about just retreating here, and then forcing fights over on this location, and then going in, coming out, those good things. But it looks like Scarab does die, and this Minotaur is on low HP. Could turn around and pick that one off. You don't want to be using your Scarab to pick off building constructions, because it just doesn't do as much damage. But it does look like Hells is getting on top of Joe at this point, dealing a lot of damage. It has those heavy chariots. We see Restoration is coming through here, but really there's not that many units on this location here. And these units are going to be getting out of here at this point, even though the Restoration did go down, and he's just going to be chilling just a little bit. That attack did a lot of work there for Joe, and we do see these cavalry are doing nicely against these Hippocon, but they're all going to be falling now. The villagers join in the fight. We do have the last one going to be falling, and it's going to be close, but this Hippocon should win, and Hell is going to be retreating that one away. Seeing the fights happening yet again, dealing a lot of damage onto these hoplites and these Hippocon as well. With this concave, they've got this little choke point. Got a siege tower coming out as well. Got some of those spearmen starting to build. I love it. Citadel stronghold, or Citadel center also out, which gives him an extra amount of population. If we check that out, looks like he's got Looks like he's got 155 population, which is huge. And when he gets fortified town center, he's going to go up to 170. Pharaoh in the attack as well. I feel like you always need to use like a box command or something when you have the Pharaoh, because Pharaoh always wants to be in the front. There's no real way to just send your most important unit to the back of your base. Not the back of your base, the back of your army. But box command at least puts it in the middle of your army, which makes it hard for melee units to get onto it. And we are seeing that the Manticore does get picked off. Siege Tower try and take down the stable, but does not finish it, for some reason pulling it off. We do see that the damage that this Siege Tower does is gigantic. Look at that one. Just completely bashing down that stable nice and fast. One more whack and it will be down. We are seeing even more of these Hippocon are going to be dying as well. The Scarab looks like it did also die, and that's going to be difficult for Joe considering he lost the town center. He does have the third town center coming up. There's so many units flooding into this base here. There's this gold mine here, and there's this gold mine here that Hells needs to be hitting at this point. Send a couple of units over this way and just hit and run a little bit until you pick off these villages here. If we check out Joe's gold income, he's got 700 gold. This is going very, very well for Hells at this point as he's moving forward. Priest and Pharaoh should be able to pick off these Manticore very, very fast, as the Manticore are going to be running away here. And that's really nice for Hells here. Hells not sending units over to this location just yet. He does kick off one gold mine, but the thing about Joe, he's always got that second gold mine up, and he can always move up onto this gold mine as well if he so chooses during this little onslaught that is this thing. And Hells is like, why is Bonesaw so expensive? Bonesaw gives you access to an extra 2 range, but it's really not that important here. I'm not sure it gives you, maybe it gives you attack as well. Where's his armory? Here we go. Bonesaw coming in. Yeah, only actually 4 range. Gives you 4 range. It's not that important when your opponent's not making range units, because it's just not that important. But he is going to be moving forward, and Joe is trying to stay alive at this point, spamming out those Hippocon as fast as he possibly can. Now the Chariot Archers are finally moving over to this location here. We see walls coming up now for Joe, but it's going to be a little bit too late as the Chariot Archers run past. You're picking off all of these wood villages, and these villages here have got kind of nowhere to run. We've got 3 villagers onto that gold line, and all of these villages are going to be dying on this wood line. We see even more units moving on over here. Joe running in with this army as well. We see the villagers running through this wall, but they're going to be greeted with a Migdol stronghold. We've got the siege towers running in as well, going to be taking down this location. We've got a couple of units over here that could come into here as well. Chariot Archer is going to be attempting to pick off some of these villages, as they can do that, but the siege towers will be able to move in here, take down this wall. Oh no, running the Chariot Archers unfortunately into a little bit of a concave there, into the corner. They're not going to be able to get the Chariot Archers out very, very fast, and Joe walks away somehow with 13 villagers there when he should have lost every single one of them. And now the Hippocon going to be getting out of there nice and happy. Joe hits the Mythic Age through Hephaestus, throws down 2 armories. How's the favor looking? He's got 78 favor, so he can get that Forge of Olympus, which gives him even less resources for the what do you call it, the upgrades for your armory. I'm not sure if it's 30% or what the actual number is, but that's going to be huge. We're seeing Siege Workshops now for HELLSRAVAGE trying to move forward. Is he going through Osiris? Yes, Osiris is coming through. We're going to have to watch out for an Apollo attack here. Fortress coming down on this large gold mine is going to allow him to secure it a little bit. He's got a lot of gold mines up here that he can start stretching out onto, and we're seeing some walls coming down now for Hells over here in order to cut off this gold mine as well. But Joe already managing to grab his own gold mine over here and be totally fine. Got so many siege towers here. Hell's being a little bit too relaxed at this point. When your opponent hits Hephaestus, the best option is to simply just run head first, deal as much damage as you possibly can before the armory upgrades come through. We got Forge of Olympus coming in. Does take 45 seconds to build. So, or to research. So you have the time to build that to attack, plus the time of, say, copper weapons before things start getting a little bit messy. So you have like a minute or two. But we are going to be seeing these siege towers rolling forward. He doesn't have access to any of those upgrades. You're seeing a little bit of a raid onto these villages, but Hells really should not worry too much about that. We've got the mummy sitting back here as well. Need to keep that guy close to your town centers when the underworld comes through, so you can pick that underworld off, or that colossus off. We're seeing more military academies coming in, Heliopoli coming through as well. Moving forward with these siege towers in order to take this location out. They're getting a little bit blocked here. For some reason, where'd the other two go? For some reason, he's sending them over here. We see the underworld does come down here, and Mummy, unfortunately, using his special attack onto a random Hippocon here. We do have the Son of Osiris coming in as well, but that guy's not going to be able to do all too much by himself. Siege towers are here. He sent those ones back in order to try and pick off the underworld passage. We've got architects coming through, and the Son of Osiris is going to be picking off all those Hippocons. We do see the town center did fall there for Joe there, so that's really, really nice. We've got the siege towers jumping onto this location here, and they do so much damage. These hoplites have to be distracted a little bit by that. Mummy is so close to being able to pick up that Colossus, but just not fast enough. All the heavy chariots are coming in here. The villagers are trying to repair this one, but is it going to be enough? One more hit should be enough. Is it going to be? No. The siege tower does fall there. Myrmidon are coming out now for Joe as the Colossus does fall. Son of Osiris sitting at 100 HP is going to be picked up very, very fast as everything else is coming through. Heliopoli coming through. We see the all the villagers do die here. Joe really needs to take down this town center if he has any chance. With the Heliopoli coming through, it's going to be easy enough to do it, but there's so many units over here already. We've got the heavy axemen coming out for Hells as well. Town center does fall, and he can get that one back up if he so chooses. Going to take those villagers off the line though and start picking off those Heliopoli. Need even more axemen to deal with these Myrmidon. But he does have units over here in order to pick off these villagers, which is huge. He needs to keep these units here. There is villager fighting happening here in order to pick off all of these units as well. And that's going to be big, but it does look like Joe deciding to leave this location. Town center going to be coming back up. Now Hells needs to move these chariots real fast over to this location in order to stop this town center from coming back up. If you check out Joe's resources, he doesn't have the wood to do so. He's trying to build Heliopoli as well on auto queue, so he's never going to have the wood to do that one. Well, he will have the wood eventually, but he just doesn't have that many units gathering it. And he also doesn't have the gold either. There we go. Town center finally coming up. And looks like Hell's just being a little bit slow getting those chariots to run over here. Definitely need to be on top of that one. We're seeing a little bit of a side build coming in over here. Mid-dot stronghold coming up on this location to defend. And we do have, it looks like Hell's getting distracted by those villagers, which he should be. He should come over here and pick off these guys. But he does need to consider attacking this location before it becomes really difficult for himself to deal with the Greek army that's going to be impending. If we check out these upgrades, we've got copper, we've got bronze, we've got copper, and we've got bronze. So we're not building up those next upgrades because it doesn't have the resources. He does need to start building those villages out yet again once that town center's up. Got the military academies coming up as well. Just seeing a little bit of a lull here after that little attack didn't go as well as Joe would have liked. And Hells is just going to be chilling on this one. Going to be running in here, picking off all of these villages. It looks like there is one really low HP villager you're missing here, Hells. You're missing this one. I'm not sure where you're running with these units either. Definitely want to consider doing something there, but looks like he's running in onto this gold mine in order to try and pick off some of these guys. And that feels really, really good. Nope. What's he doing? Not 100% sure there. Looks like he's running around and needs to meet up against these heavy Myrmidon here. These guys deal so much damage. We do see that the mummy coming in does pick off one of them. Siege towers running in to pick off the walls as well. Hate seeing walls. We do see this villager is going to get picked off there as well. Thank you so much for the follow, Ram C0. Appreciate your attention looking at my videos. You are Such a legend. Thank you so much. We do see the Heliopoli does get picked off, and all of those infantry are going to be falling as well. Now we're seeing docks coming up in this location in order to maybe pick off the market, this corner of the map, trying to secure it. We're seeing the units run in here. There's no real trade route set up for Hells just yet. He has a lot of idle units. Could potentially set up that market over here, which does look like he is doing. There's no siege towers over here, so he can't really pick off these walls very fast, but he may be wanting to do that fairly soon. Markets are going to be coming up. That's going to be good. These villagers are going to be retreating over here. There's a couple of idle units needing to get on top of that one as well. We are going to be seeing the market is going to be going down, but Hells doesn't care too much about that because he's swapping the location there. And now we're seeing the champion axemen coming in as well, so they're going to be able to deal with those myrmidons as well. Thank you so much for the follow too fast. Appreciate that one, my friend. Thanks for watching. We've got the mummy moving in, gonna be dodging with that manticore. Nice micro there in order to send him away, but the mummy does fall to the Odysseus, as well as all of the rest of these units are going to be losing. And we do see, as Hells reacts to that, Joe moves up to the top of the map, moving in onto this market. Did manage to pick off that market. Now he has to pick off this market. Continue to pick off markets all over the map. There's not really that many buildings over here. Joe recapturing Dwarven Calipers. Unfortunately, did not have that one for quite some time. Now we can rebuild those Heliopoli for quite some less resources. Now we're seeing the mummy move in. Hopefully picking off, unfortunately picking off a hoplite there instead of a myrmidon. Not the best micro there, but it's definitely difficult to say at the very least. And we got the wall up as well. It's stone walls, trying to finish it off as well in order to protect this location. But this is getting very, very difficult here for Hells. He said it earlier, he's not that fast. Moving the siege towers in, it's definitely always an option to go after these houses. So we'll see if that's what's going to be happening here, because there's never any villages close to them, and they are very important to pick off, and we are going to be seeing them go down very, very fast. 2 attacks from a Dwarven, from a Scarab Pendant siege tower picks off 1 house. That's gigantic. Going to be picking off a bunch of these, and as these units die, you can see only 149 population of 130. As the units die, it's going to be easier and easier for Hells to deal with that, and the houses are going to have to come back up for Joe now. But at what cost? Losing a lot of siege towers in order to buy that time. Losing an archery range as well. It's going to be nice if you can pick that one off, but it looks like the units will come in order to pick the siege tower just before this archery range finishes. 59 HP left. You do have the Heliopoli also taking down this stone gate as fast as you possibly can, but there are these axemen on top of him, but it's not going to be enough at this point. Looks like the stone gate is going to be coming down, and this Heliopoli costs 240 wood, 160 gold with that upgrade there. We're seeing villagers run up to this location. Looks like Joe needs to start finding more gold very, very soon. We see a little bit of raid coming in here. The donkey caravans are getting spammed, so he does have a decent trade route. No, not a decent trade route, small trade route. So that one's going to be nice. We're seeing these Heracles, the Bellerophon coming out. Ooh, this is hard to see right here. Bellerophon, such a strong unit. Heracles also just picking off these axemen like they're nothing. They really do very little damage to these heroes. But we do see the axemen going to be able to come in, surround that Heliopoli, and potentially pick him off. But we're going to be leaving that one as well. Where'd that Bellerophon go? Looks like Bellerophon's going to be chasing camel caravans as well around as best as he can. Deals so much damage, and we are seeing that this location is being mined from, and it maybe Hells is going to make a little maneuver over here. Definitely needs to defend against it as well. Going to be running around the open wall here that's coming in, and maybe try and fight in this location. Force Joe off this gold mine. There's still gold over here. There's still gold over here, and there is still gold over here. That's going to be fine for Joe to be dealing with there. All of these infantry are going to be dying. We do see the Heliopoli taking down these markets as best as possible. or at least as fast as possible. We do have a villager running in, a mummy coming through, maybe going to be picking off some of these hypaspists, which are only heavy. Has he got more upgrades? Yeah, he's almost finished all the upgrades there. Still needs to get iron mail, but that's an expensive one. Mummy is going to be picking off those units. Champion infantry now coming through. Villagers returning, but they're returning to their demise here as they're running right into a volley of axemen. Just so many whacks to their face. But the next market is going to be falling. We do have this market still up though, so it's not the end of the world. Hells could throw up just a bunch of markets over in this corner if he so choose, which would be a fairly decent idea there. And the real question is, what is Hells' victory condition here? He needs to cut off gold. He needs to take a town center. But at this point, he's simply just defending. And Hells has to play at Joe's pace here, which is really difficult for Hells to do. He needs to think about something that he can do in this situation that is going to allow him to defend against what Joe is doing while also put pressure onto Joe. And if you can put pressure onto Joe, you relieve pressure on yourself there. You do see that, oh my god, the Bellerophon jumps onto a mummy, one hits it. That's disgusting. One hitting a mummy, one hitting a myth unit just with your special attack right there. The Heliopoli going to be continuing to move away here, running in onto this location, trying to pick off some of these siege towers. But with all of the chariot archers over here, you should be able to at least pick off these guys, get the axemen to pick off the Heliopoli. There are still quite a bit of HP left over here. And we do have Oxy war barges moving in here, going to be picking off some of those houses. Market coming in as well, a little bit away from the lake here, but I don't think that these are going to be able to get onto here at all. But he is going to be able to at least pick off this thing here, and then the cabinets should be able to maybe deal a little bit of damage to these donkey caravans, cause a little bit of a disruption to the trade route. But probably should get the Oxy war barges to pick off these wooden walls, so then you can move forward through them and then take out this location. But we are seeing this attack still continuing through here. And that's really, really nice here for Joe. Definitely needs to consider what he's going to do over here. He's sending the mummy forward, not quite on top of this. Going to be able to pick off that very low HP Manticore, which is not exactly what you want to see when there's a full HP Manticore you could have chosen there. But looks like the Migdol Stronghold going to be going down. Hells has to refocus his camel caravans over into this corner, which is fairly easy to do. You just throw down, you just delete this other market here once this is up, and they automatically refocus. We're seeing the Bellerophon jumping over here, going to be trying to pick off these villages, but the cabinets are going to be doing work over here, taking down these stone gates. Bellerophon just run around at this point, doing what he does, picking off villages left, right, and center. But looks like the tower may be able to get up because he's not able to focus 100% of his attention onto this Bellerophon. And maybe the storehouse is going to be falling as well, which forces these villagers to have to rebuild that one. Sentry tower coming up now for Joe. Still hasn't got watchtowers at 32 minutes into the game. These Oxy war barges really do not do all that much damage against constructed towers because they have crush damage, which doesn't have that much of a bonus against it. Actually, I don't think that's 100% how it works, but I don't know. The encyclopedia, go read it. If it did it. If you like the advanced tooltips mod, it's on RTS Sanctuary. Watchtower is almost up, but as soon as it goes up, it should fall very, very fast. And now it looks like Hells has managed to create enough of a distraction that he's managed to stop this location from being under pressure. These chariot archers are trying to pick off this stone gate. It does have only 30 HP left, and we do see both watchtowers were picked off very, very fast. I would love to see Hells just click this war barge, click here, hold shift, click here, and then he would be able to pick off those walls and then make some sort of a pathway for him into this location here. But we do see that the market was deleted, so now the donkey caravans have a little bit reduced trade, only getting 124 gold. Oh my god, only 124 gold. But they do have a bit of a reduced trade there, so it's going to be a little bit of a win there for Hells. Actually, no, it does drop down to 85 gold, so it is quite significant there. Now we're seeing Silver Colossus coming out, and the war barge is attacking this idle Heliopoli at this point. You can definitely send that guy forward in order to pick off this Oxy war barge. It does have a range of 10, so it may be enough. maybe enough. Going to be trying to pick off the Chemnit first, though. It's probably more important. There we go. Chemnit is going to be falling very, very fast. And the Oxy War Barge after that. We do see the units are now running into this location of Hells. Hells can restart his market over here. He's chucking down another siege workshop. Then probably going to throw down the markets as well, as Joe is trying to cut off this market over here. And we do see there's quite a few units. And I'm not sure where all of Hells' units are, but they need to be over here at this point, and maybe even create some mercenary. Here we go. The mercenary are coming out in order to defend this location. We've got the mummy utilizing the special ability, picking off some small units here. The Colossus is going to be taking down this market. Need to wait for that special to come back in, somehow sneak in and pick off that gold Colossus without Bellerophon knowing. But if Bellerophon gets here, Bellerophon does have that special. Going to be jumping onto the mummy here. And there we go. Mummy is going to be going down and not even getting that special off either. This is looking really, really dire now for Hells here, as we've got Gold Colossus in this location here, and he's going to be able to move forward, potentially pick off the Stone Gate, and then start making his way into this fortified town center. Not sure why he hasn't finished off this market though, which is super odd. But McDonald Stronghold coming back up over here. Hells is just ready to restart the trade route over on this location again. Even losing this one, totally fine, totally happy. But most of this army has been cleaned up, and we're seeing Joe start to make a move over here. He's got the villager building up this wall yet again, so he's able to swap back over here. And now we've got the Gold Colossus moving onto this market. Pharaoh is out, trying to do a little bit of damage. He does do a little bit of damage, but Colossus has 80% pierce armor. That's absolute insanity. This Pharaoh, even with the 400% bonus damage versus myth units, does next to nothing to that Gold Colossus as he's bashing away at that market. Really do need to get mummies out and not lose them in order to pick these guys off. These guys just tank so much. We've got 3 Colossus out at this point. Pharaoh going to be moving in, but Odysseus on the prowl, picking that Pharaoh off from behind. Absolutely gigantic there for Joe in order to keep going in this game and not have to deal with the pharaohs. But we'll see if the mummies can come in and help. We've got more walls coming up over here, so Joe is just slowly but surely cornering in Hells, as this fight is going very, very well currently for Joe, and Hells is just slowly but surely dwindling into the might of the Gold Colossus. Now we're seeing the Gold Colossus move in onto these docks. We've got the guard towers up, which you're going to be able to pick off this Oxy War Barge really, really fast. Maybe even pick off this one as well. You can see the damage that it does. Guard towers have a bonus of 500% versus ships. So they really pick off a ship fast, even though it only says 14 damage per second. So it's like 14 damage per second plus 1 because it has an extra thing, and then, times 2, and then also plus the 500% damage. Absolutely insane. Gold Colossus have finally met their match here with the mummy, picking off this guy here, and then you just have to wait for the next special in order to pick up that other Gold Colossus. And Hell is going to be okay here, but he is going to be under pressure yet again. The market swaps locations, and Joe's already over here, ready to start picking it off. Getting on top of this is difficult for Joe here, but he's really making those moves quite nice. We're seeing guard towers come up. How's the resources? He's got so many resources in the bank, whereas Hells is really struggling. But Hells sitting at 1. Forget that Hells has that Citadel Town Center, so he's actually got quite a bit of excess population he can use over what Joe has, and it kind of looks like he is just using that in the camel caravans, maybe. Yeah, it looks like he's got more camel caravans by about 10 than Joe. So he does have basically effectively 10 more camel caravans, 10 more gold income in camel caravans than Joe has. But Joe's just putting this pressure up, and it's just oppressive, man. You can't do anything against these Myrmidon. They do so much damage to everything. What is it? 50% bonus damage versus non-Greek human and priests, excluding Axemen and throwing Axemen. So Axemen, they don't get the bonus, but Axemen are super weak. anyways. So it's really difficult, but we are seeing the heavy Pentaconta coming in now, taking down this dock, and now Hells decides to tap out. GG, well played there by Joe, managing to come back there. I actually felt like Hells was playing this game really, really well up until maybe like the 20-minute mark, when he had a super big advantage after he picked off this town center, after the underworld was a fail and this town center was down. He needed to send chariot archers right in here and stop that from going back up, and that would have been really, really nice there. But unfortunately, he does not manage to do that, and Joe does get that juicy comeback that we've known him to do so much. Super well played there. We'll see if they want to keep playing. I think I can only really do one more. I'm currently dying a little bit, but stick around and we'll see what we can have happen here.